Wickes Trade Pro in Google, click on the top bit, you'll see you can get 10% off every shop you make pretty much with Wickes. So click on Join Trade Pro today, and don't worry, you don't have to be an actual tradesperson. You just have to look like one. They make it pretty easy to join, really. So choose 2 forms of ID. You will have to a business card and a business letterhead. So I've made mine basically a handyman, a business card, and a business letterhead. Google them, see what a business letterhead is, and just create those 2. You're pretty much a handyman if you're gonna do this kind of work. Afterwards, fill up all of these details and click submit, then wait. I got my account within a day, so now I get a 10% off every time. You might remember that the electricity is disconnected on this property, so the cables have been chopped off pretty much, and I think the cable on the outside has been removed as well. So I had to get in touch with National Grid, which they offered me a quote of £2,290 to make the reconnection, which was a bit shocking, to be fair, but you might see there is contestable works, which is the main chunk of it. And after doing some research, you can essentially get the contestable works done by a different contractor, as long as you can see actually it is possible to get someone else to quote for the contestable part of the works. So they just need to be like approved or something like that. So I found lots of companies that would undertake contestable works, and emailed probably like 20 of them that day, but unfortunately none of them were able to offer me a quote, as this project was too small apparently, and a few of them suggested that the quote I've got, this quote here, is the best I'll get. So I just decided to pay for that, and yeah, essentially I just need to dig out a trench here just outside the door, and they will dig out into the footpath to lay the cable, and they're coming in December to do that, beginning of December, so a few months time. So yeah. On this other end of the roof, those stones came loose as well, and also some of this mortar on the edges. So I'm just stuffing in some mortar inside and relay those stones again. Also, I'll put a flashing on top of it, and then I'll lay the stones on top. So that's where it was a couple days ago. I've done those. Now I'll do this side. So I came over the neighbor's roof and fill this bit in. So this one looks fine, it doesn't come out, so I left it just patched up a little bit there. So now I'll roll over some flash band over it and seal it. So this is the situation now. Bedded this in mortar, and there is the flash band there, hopefully protect from some of the leaks. Then I gotta go make another mix of mortar and continue. This is what happens when using too much force, taking these chunks out of the tile, but it should be fine. I'll still cover that part, so it's not an issue, but yeah. Note to self, on a sunny day, there is moisture here. It's literally water under the mortar, so even more proof that this was indeed leaking quite a bit. Hopefully what I'm doing here will solve that issue. This is what I do. I first stuff the mortar into the next stone, then I place a dollop of mortar here at the other end. Then I will place the stone onto it and point it out. So I'll show you the process in a sec. So I've just pressed the stone flush to the tiles, and you can see it's pushed out some of the mortar. That's alright. This one, I don't think you can see much. It's filled up at the bottom. This side, we're not worried about it yet. I'll just stuff mortar inside afterwards, but right now I'll point that out. So I'll just pick some of that mortar, stuff it in the gaps, and you'll see the outcome. But that's the pointing done. I know you might be thinking this looks like crap, and I agree, it does look like crap, but all I care about is that it does its job. No one's gonna see my roof tiles or the the ridge, so I don't really care, to be fair, how it looks. And plus I think it will weather with time. Here what I do is take a dollop. One sec. Couple of dollops. Dollop of mortar. And just stuff it in there. Quite difficult to do this one-handed, but you get the point. I'll just add more on there and then bring it all in like so. I'll just add a bit more in here. I bring it somewhat level to the actual stone so that when I press the other one in, it pushes it into all the edges. I can make a half a decent joint if I really want to, I suppose, instead of those. This does look a little bit better in my view. But yeah, a few more to go. What a beautiful day to be on the roof. Last bit I'm gonna do is just smoothen out the hand. You could use a sponge, I suppose, but can't be bothered going back down and coming back up, to be fair, so I just do it this way. Yeah, I practically made love to this window. The whole roof is gonna need a nice brush. I'll probably spray some kind of moss killer. And then next in line are those. Gotta collect them from everywhere. Got one in the house, the one that was sitting right there at in the corner. That's gonna be a bit of a challenge, to be fair, unless I can get a ladder from my neighbor's side. I think it's a bit risky doing it from the roof, but I'll see. That's a job for another day. This is the finished work. Not the best looking one, but I think it will do. I'm not gonna put any silicone in there because it's already sealed from the inside with the flash band, so I'll just let them breathe a little bit. I hope that's the right decision. What I will do is probably, once this dries up, I'll use some water seal product on it just to keep it a little bit more protected from water. So I've been working for 1.5 weeks without water, electricity or gas. So I thought maybe I'll try to get some temporary water supply going, and I opened the valve from outside, the stopcock from outside, and obviously it was closed for a reason. Everything started splashing around, soaking wet everywhere, so it wasn't closed off properly in there, and there's no way to do it this way. What I'll do is, thankfully I had one of these T's, so I'll basically replace that one, cut it off and replace it with this one, and hopefully we'll get some water at least in this sink, and hopefully upstairs sink and toilet. Then we can start using the toilet. Cut the pipe, I'm just using one of these tools. I have no idea what they're called, maybe copper pipe choppers or something. Had it from many years ago. So you just slide it in there and then start twisting. Obviously don't do this on a live pipe where water is flowing, because you know what will happen. But this one is dead, so I'm just trying to cut this piece, then I will cut this end as well, and yeah, try to replace that T with this one. These ones are amazing, by the way, the push fit ones. You don't need any other tools, no soldering or anything like that, and they last quite a while. I've done mine on my house about 5 years ago, and that was the first time I've ever done it, and they're still perfectly fine. So yeah, there's no reason to do this. If you're not comfortable plumbing, don't do it the hard way. Right, let me do this. I'll replace it. I'll show you hopefully how you replace it, the T, and connect it back up, and hopefully everything will be fine. We'll see. Maybe from this. So I connected from the main water supply, that's the stopcock from inside. Connected these two. I cut out some of the pipe so it doesn't reach anymore. And I'm gonna have to find a piece of copper pipe because I don't have one on me. I'll probably just chop this one. I don't think we'll need this one. Chop a bit of pipe from there and use it in here. Let's see. By the way, I also need one more piece. This is getting a bit ridiculous. The only thing I found in my spare tools was this elbow. So ideally I would have had one of those push fit straight connectors. I don't know what they call them, but I've got this one now. So I'll just replace that corner here, measure up a piece of copper pipe and fit it into that. Yeah, it's not the best looking job, I know, but I hope it does the job, the trick. I'll show you how these push fit work. So to take it out, you press on this top bit and you just slide it, and to push it in, obviously you would clean up the pipe, give it a bit of a sand. These edges could be quite sharp if you just cut them, so you just sand it down, but at the moment I don't really care too much. And these ones, you can see it goes down and up, so you keep it up, you just simply push it in there until it doesn't go anymore, and to lock it you just twist and it's in. So now I need one piece of pipe to extend into the other T. Measure from there, or not from here, but from there, because the pipe will go all the way in there. Measure from there, same. So that shows 37, I don't know if you can see, 37 centimeters. So I'll cut 37 centimeters, try again. So 37 centimeters, see that middle line there? That's how you know where it's gonna cut. So let's cut it. Right, now I placed it in there. Yeah, it looks kind of wonky throughout, but all those pipes I'll replace anyway when I do it properly. Now it's time to try out the water. So make sure this is locked, I mean closed. I'll go outside. Let's go outside. So outside I've got this water supply. I'll just go in there, turn it anti-clockwise. I'll just turn it a little bit because I don't want any major flood inside. I'm running to see what happens. Okay, well, it looks like it's not leaking for now. Shall we turn this one? I can hear going upstairs. I need to run upstairs to see what happens. Oh wow, got water. Okay, I'll go upstairs quickly. Okay, you can hear the toilet basin filling in. And here it's just this water supply. Oh, hello there, we got water. This one is filling up. And flushes as well. Look at that. We got a running toilet. Well, maybe I spoke too soon, but everything seems to be running as intended so far. I don't see any leaks. That's not a leak. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on it over the next hour or so. I'll turn the water supply on fully and just keep an eye on it, see what happens. But the main thing is that it doesn't leak anywhere. I don't mind a drop of water, but I don't want it to be splurging around, water everywhere. So even this one looks like it's fine. Let's turn it on fully. I'm a little bit scared, to be fair, because I don't know what to expect. Okay, water here is fine. I go check upstairs again. Main thing is toilet. I don't want the toilet to be overflowing. The sink taps look fine. It doesn't leak. Okay, slowly there. Alright, now I'll be watching the toilet. Okay, it's filling up nicely. I want to see if it will stop at some point, if this mechanism works, because obviously I don't want it to keep going until it overflows. So let's see. Here's something upstairs and I was like, whoa, what the hell is happening? I hope it's not flooding anywhere upstairs. And then I realized I've got this tank upstairs, which you can't see, but it's filling up as well. To be fair, I don't really need this tank. I wonder if you could just switch it off. Man, this one is stuck in here, man. I wonder if this will stop. So of course, it wouldn't have been that easy, right? We have leak from somewhere out in the loft. So let's go check the loft out. Well, I already know what happened in the loft, but all these pipes were chopped up, right? So this pipe specifically started flowing water. I switched off the water supply again. I turned this turned this, managed to do it with this tool. I have no idea what it's called, but yeah, managed to turn it off. So I don't know if this will do anything, but that one leads to this, basically where the water was flowing into that tank and then into there. And we got this one flowing water. Now it's not because I switched off the water supply, but I'll try to see if I can cap it off with something. I see, so this pipe is also chopped off, and I think that's where the water is coming from, downstairs I mean. And then we got this one, and this one I closed, so I think we won't be getting any water in there, but I definitely need to buy some caps for these pipes, so I'll buy a few, cap them off, and then for the best. Hope that there's no more chopped pipes. I don't know, these people, whoever's done whatever they've done here, a bunch of idiots, all I can say. £7.76 for 2 of these. That's how much it cost me to stop the floodgates from ruining half the house. Be good boys, please. Okay, let's see what happens if I switch the water back on. So I already closed that off. Let's hope it's not running anymore when I switch it back on, sorry. If it does, then I'll just chop it here. I've got another stop end for the smaller pipe here, so I can just do that, worst case scenario. But I hope these ones work. Let's see now. Of course, it couldn't have been that easy, right? So after switching the water back on, this thing is still running, so it's still filling up the tank, which is going to overflow at some point, and then obviously we all know what will happen. So I have no choice but to chop it off here, cap it off. And in here the problem is it's leaking from here because the pipe is bent. So yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to undo all of that. Yeah. I'll have a look, see what I can do about that. Maybe chop this off, because obviously I don't need this anymore. I think this is like the old-fashioned, whatever this is, from central heating or something, some kind of pump. So what I'll do is take it off from here. Oh man, I want to take it off from there, just put the stop in there. There's still water on the pipe, so it's gonna make a big mess, and I have no idea what to do to stop the water. I guess I'll just let it flow out into the room downstairs again. So I'm here a few days later, just cutting off the pipe. I brought a metal cutting saw, and I'm just chopping through this pipe. Let's see how it works. I've got the ring, the copper pipe, and I don't know what you call this one, but what I'm gonna do is fit it back in there. Bring the ring a bit more this way, slide it all the way in, and then simply twist it. And I've got this stop end, simply slide it in there, and yeah, I will tie this up a bit more just to be sure it's tied up properly. hard to do things with one hand. Use this bucket for the water, catch as much water as possible, but still had mini flood downstairs bedroom. Thankfully it's not finished yet, so still need to plaster it. Okay, I now started the water again downstairs and run upstairs as fast as I could, sorry. I could check, and so far, I mean, might have been wet already, to be fair. I'm not sure. I will check. I'll dry it with a tissue, see what happens, because I don't want it to leak at all. Ideally, I might just need to tie it up. But so far, this looks okay. This tank here is not filling up because I've cut out the pipe and I put a stop end on it, so that one is good. But yeah, no water splashing out, which is good. Although this one, I feel like it needs more tying up since it's still wet. Moment of truth. What did I spend this week? Well, some of the roofing stuff like mortar. I bought some CT1 sealant and different adhesive, 71 pounds, 27 for the moss killer to spray on the roof, 8 pounds for the stop ends on the pipes, 8 pounds for wallpaper stripper. I haven't used it yet, but this was for the future use. 26 pounds fiberglass mesh tape and rubble bags, then 86 pounds on plaster and some foam filler. Again, these are for future use in the next few weeks when I'll start plastering. But the biggest chunk was 2,290 for the electricity reconnection, which will happen in the next few months. Then I got some tools, cordless angle grinder, multi-tool. Probably the most important one were the head torches. 2 head torches, 18 pounds. Since I don't have electricity and I work a lot at night, that's very handy. And 21 pounds for a derby, again for plastering, which I'll be using later on. So yeah, so far this week I've spent 2,659, and so far in these 2 weeks, in total I've spent 2,906 pounds and 50 pence. As a side note, I'm well aware that some of the work you see in these videos won't be to some of the tradesmen standards, but I'm trying my best to work within a time limit and a budget. That means I won't be trying to get everything look perfect. I haven't done any building courses, anything, and everything I learn is from videos just like this one, from forums and by getting my hands dirty. So I am in fact a DIYer, a jack of all trades, as they say, and I prefer it this way as it gives me a range of different skills which can be applied to most of the refurb process. But I'm also aware that at times it will feel like it's never ending, but from all my ventures so far, I've learned that this is in fact a positive sign. The only way to achieve something of value is to push through these obstacles. So I'll keep going and posting my adventures and the countless issues that I'll come across. I hope that you find it educational and somewhat entertaining. I encourage you to comment if anything could have been done better or differently, so that other people can learn from my mistakes. And I'll see you in the next video.